Travis, I'll start. Okay. Good evening. My name is Sergeant Mike Ernster. That's spelled E-R-N-S-T-E-R. I'm the Public Information Officer here at the St. Paul Police Department. Here today to talk about a shooting, a midday shooting that occurred in our Summit University neighborhood. This shooting resulted in the death of one man. Just after 1:30 p.m., our officers were called to the 600 block of Aurora Avenue after multiple 911 callers reported shots fired and that they believed someone had been injured. When our officers arrived, they located an adult male victim suffering from multiple gunshot injuries to his upper body. St. Paul fire medics responded and brought that male into their ambulance for treatment. Unfortunately, while in the ambulance, the man died of his injuries, and instead of being transported to the Regions Hospital, the medics transported him to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office. Preliminary information indicates the victim was sitting in a parked vehicle at the time of this incident. Inside that vehicle with him was another adult male, as well as two young children. It is believed that a small dark vehicle, possibly an SUV, drove past the victim's vehicle and shots were fired from the small dark vehicle. That vehicle then fled south on Dale Street. Thankfully, no one else inside that vehicle was hit by this gunfire. But I can tell you that it was a very close call. Our investigators, upon looking at the scene, noticed that in the back seat where the two children were seated, those children were a toddler and an infant. The infant was seated in a car seat. That car seat, after review by the homicide investigators, was noticed to have 2 bullet holes in it. So to say that this was a close call is an understatement. And we're very thankful that that child and nobody else in that vehicle was killed or injured. Our officers secured the scene and began looking for witnesses. And our homicide investigators are currently working through witness statements and anything they can recover from that area to try to determine A, what happened and who was responsible for this. But I can tell you that there are many people at this scene. Some people that investigators may not have spoken to. We would encourage all of them to call our investigators at 651-266-5650. Our investigators need to speak with people to really understand what occurred and to determine who's responsible so they can be held accountable. Again, that number is 651-266-5650. We'll work with the Ramsey County Medical Examiner to positively identify the victim and determine his exact cause of death. This information and any other updates in this case will be posted on our X account at SPPDMN when information is available. This is our 29th homicide of 2024, and it matches the same total of 2023 at this same time frame. Keeping in mind we're early on in this, pretty much revealed as much preliminary information as I can. I'll take your questions in case anything needs to be clarified.
Do you have any sense of, with the two children, the relationship to either person in the car? Were they related to like the deceased person? Or?
I think it's a little too early to say. I don't know exactly what the relationship was or what was going on at that point with the victim. Until we positively identify the victim, we'll figure those things out as it goes along.
Midday, I can't remember the last midday shooting like that in St. Paul.
It's brazen. Any shooting within our city is brazen. The fact that somebody will pick up a gun and aim it at another person, especially a vehicle with multiple people, including small children, and pull the trigger is unthinkable. That's why we're asking for people's help. Come forward, let us identify who is responsible for this, tell us what you saw so that they can be held accountable. The chief and community leaders and the mayor, just recently we had a press conference regarding this. The police department is in locked arms with our community, trying to solve the violence problem in St. Paul and hold people accountable. Somebody out there knows something, and we would hope to hear from them. If you are nervous about calling the police department, we would encourage you to call a leader within your community that you do trust, whether that be a pastor or just a trusted family friend. Call somebody, speak up, so that information can get to us.
Do you feel like there's continued danger, or I don't know if danger is too strong a word for the neighborhood? Do you feel like this was somewhat targeted towards this vehicle?
This does not feel like a random incident, but we're very early on in this. If there's any information that would suggest it's anything but not random, we would educate the public to make sure everybody stays safe. I can tell you that our investigators are dogged in their pursuit of finding the people responsible for this case and for any shootings within our city. And I expect that that same effort to be used here and to find who's responsible. Okay, thank you very much.